Forbidden in the room. Next door. It was another hot summer afternoon when Emily arrived at that elegant house on the outskirts of the city. At 23, a psychology student and part-time babysitter, she had worked with dozens of kids, but none like Chloe. And no family like that. The mother was a constantly busy executive, the father completely absent. And then there was the older brother, Jake. 28, piercing gaze, a perpetual 5 o'clock shadow, gym-honed body under simple clothes, and a presence that made the air heavier in every room. From the first day, Emily noticed the tension in the air, and it wasn't because of the child. That afternoon, the mother was away on a business trip, and Chloe was quietly playing with her building blocks. Jake appeared unannounced, sweaty, shirtless, athletic shorts hanging low on his hips, a towel over one shoulder. He had just finished a run, and Emily lost her breath the moment she saw him. "Hot day, huh?" he said, grabbing a water bottle and tilting it to his lips. Emily followed the motion with her eyes, her body reacting involuntarily. "Very," she replied, trying to stay composed. "Want something cold? Juice, maybe?" "Juice sounds great, thanks." As he walked to the kitchen, Emily tried to control her breathing. The tension between them was becoming more obvious by the day. The way he looked at her lasted too long. Accidental touches lingered more than they should. It was like playing with fire. When Jake came back, Chloe had already gone up to her room, worn out from the heat and playing. Emily sat alone in the living room, her light summer dress clinging to her skin. He walked over slowly and sat beside her. "Chloe asleep?" "She is. And you? Tired?" "A little, but I'm hanging in there," she said with a half smile. "You sure?" His voice was lower now, warm, intense. Emily felt a shiver run up her spine. "If I said I wanted to kiss you, would you stop me?" She looked into his eyes, lips slightly parted. "Only if you're doing it wrong." The kiss hit like a spark to gasoline. Nothing soft, nothing polite. It was raw, full of restrained desire. Their mouths crashed together, tongues rushing. His hands gripped her waist tightly, and in seconds Emily was straddling his lap, feeling his arousal growing beneath her. We can't do this here," she whispered between kisses. Chloe might wake up. Jake stood up with her in his arms, their bodies still pressed close, and carried her to the guest room. He kicked the door shut and laid her on the bed, like she belonged there all along. The dress was up in a second. Her black lacy lingerie drew a deep growl from him. "I knew you were a tease, but this? And you think I didn't notice how you looked at me?" she fired back, yanking the towel off his shoulder and dragging her nails down his firm abs. Clothes flew. Every piece unveiled more of the heat between them. Jake kissed her neck hungrily, leaving marks, then moved down to her breasts with a mouth that craved every inch. Emily writhed beneath him, moaning, her body trembling with anticipation. When he moved between her legs, Emily bit her lip hard. His tongue was skilled, firm, warm, knowing exactly where to touch, how to press, how to explore. She moaned loud, her hips shaking, her body begging for more. "Jake, oh God, don't stop." But he didn't stop. He brought her up and down in waves of pleasure until her entire body exploded in moans muffled by the pillow. "My turn," she said, eyes wild, pulling him by the hips. Emily knelt in front of him, hair falling over her face. She wrapped her lips around his hardness, licking slowly, teasing. Jake groaned, muscles tight with restraint. You're unbelievable." She smiled with her mouth still busy, intensifying her rhythm until he nearly lost control. "Come here," he panted. "I need to feel you." She climbed on top of him slowly, aligning their bodies perfectly. When she sank down fully onto him, she bit her lip and closed her eyes with pleasure. "Oh my God, you're perfect." Emily rode him like she ruled the world. Hips swirling, breasts bouncing, moans pouring freely. Jake gripped her tightly, matching her rhythm, completely undone. You drive me crazy, he groaned. I've been thinking about you since the first time you walked through that door. They switched positions. Jake turned her around, pulling her by the waist. Taking her from behind was deep, powerful. Their sweaty bodies collided, the sound echoing through the room. "This is insane," Emily moaned, eyes closed. "The best kind of insane," he whispered, thrusting harder. She turned again, climbing on top once more. The kiss this time was slower, full of something deeper. There was more than lust now, something they weren't ready to name yet. The climax came fast and hard, both together, muffled cries, nails digging in, legs trembling, then silence, then an embrace, bodies tangled. "This shouldn't have happened," Emily whispered, still breathless. "Maybe not," Jake replied, brushing her neck, "but I don't regret it. Do you?" She paused, smiled softly, only that it didn't happen sooner. They kissed slowly, like their mouths were saying what they couldn't yet say out loud. In the room next door, Chloe slept, innocent. And in the guest room, her babysitter and her older brother discovered that some temptations are just too sweet to resist, and dangerously addictive.